Hey everybody, I hope you are having a good day, a good week. Vibrations to you. Okay. Alright, look. So let's go ahead and get into the topics, because this is another Bondy Blue Show's all, and we're here to talk about whatever I feel like talking about that's popping in the blogs. So let's go ahead and start. Hold up, go back to the page. Go back. Okay. Let's pull that up. Okay, the Jasmine brand. Love and Hip Hop reunion. K.michelle unable to attend. Apple Watts not allowed on stage. And this is when the story became interesting, because then I became upset. What do you mean Apple Watts isn't going to be on stage? What do you mean that Apple Watts is not going to be a part of the reunion? I mean, what y'all think? Cause Basketball Wives got away with that retardedness right there? What y'all think? Just because Basketball Wives got away with that foolishness that they gave on their last reunion, hey, that wasn't good. I don't know if we have to tell you this, VH1, but that was not good. I know y'all thought that was good. Maybe enough people were watching for you to consider that a good reunion. It wasn't. Okay, it wasn't. So this is bothersome to me. So let's see what the Jasmine brand is saying. The Jasmine brand has exclusive details on what allegedly went down at the explosive Love and Hip Hop Hollywood reunion. Sources tell us that K.michelle was allegedly unable to attend due to having surgery. We're told that the singer, who is one of the main cast members this season, participated remotely for the taping. She just had surgery, final surgery, and she couldn't physically travel and was still healing. Sources also tell us that cast member Apple Watts did show up for the reunion, but wasn't on set. They wouldn't let her film on stage. She was held in a different area. We're told that she allegedly wasn't allowed to be with the other cast members due to security reasons. She is said to have allegedly threatened physical harm against some of her fellow cast members. It's Love and Hip Hop. It's Love and Hip Hop. Okay? Y'all fight on Love and Hip Hop. It happens. But unless Apple has actually put a pause on somebody this season, I need to understand what we're doing here. Why is this okay? Why is this okay? I thought that the reprimanding for fighting at the reunion was you wouldn't be invited back the next season. I thought that was enough. Y'all really gonna be up here not allowing people to be on stage to have their say, because now y'all want to be scared that they might get into a fight, even though you have like 88, shout out to Roxanne, security guards on the show at all times? Make me understand. That's Sports Rocks. That's my girl. She always calls the security on Love and Hip Hop the crazy 88s. You know, like Kill Bill. Yeah. So I'm bothered. I'm bothered by this. And if this is going to become a trend, then we're going to have a conversation. Because if you think that we care that much about the reunion, you're sadly mistaken. Half of the time, y'all give us nothing we didn't already know, or give us things we didn't ask for and we didn't need. Get it together, VH1. This is not cute. Okay, you guys, I don't know if you recall the story of Centoya Brown, the 16-year-old girl who was put in jail for like 28 years or life or something like that because she killed a John. Mind you, she was underage, and if she can't legally consent to sex, then how can she consent to be a prostitute? But either way, she was released, okay? And she's been out of jail for some time. And when she got out of jail, it was announced that she had actually married this guy, okay? And this guy is someone that we know of via someone else. Let's talk about it. Okay. Pam Long. You may remember Pamela Long from Total. Yeah. My mind instantly goes to this song that she did with Trina. On Trina's, what that was, the first and second album? The first album, Take Me to a World Where I Ain't Gotta Be Sexy and I could be considered as a lady. Please tell me I'm gonna be so shady, baby. I wanna go to a world where I ain't gotta be a freehold, so I could be noticed by people. That the part I always give me. That's why I have to keep singing it. Okay, so I mean, there's so many other Total songs. Like, kissing you is All that I've been thinking of, kissing you is home. It don't matter who knows. I don't care who sees me thinking about you makes my life complete. Alright, I'm good. But I'm just saying, like, I love Total. And I always thought that there was some homosexuality happening, you know, amongst some of the members of Total. But whatever. Apparently Pamela Long has actually said that she's had relationships with women in the past, but since then has been delivered. She opened up about the drama with her ex-husband, Jamie Long, who is currently married Centoya Brown Long. See how I just brought that together and you were wondering what the hell I was talking about. Brown Long has been making headlines after she was released from prison earlier this year. She had served 15 years after shooting and killing a man who trafficked her when she was 16. She and Jamie married while she was behind bars. Pam said on her radio show Sunday, October 20th, there was a story that came out from my ex-husband, Jamie Long. It was an email from his camp that was sent. It was the most horrific lie. It was so strategically put together to try to bring a couple things I went through in my life, even when I worked at White Castle. Oh, you know you're wrong. It was put together as if when he met me, this was where I was in my life, which in fact was not so. It also entailed when I worked at a place called MTF, and yes, I did work at White Castle by choice. She said she worked at the fast food restaurant after giving her life to the Lord. She said she realized that she was dealing with pride and wanted to be humbled. She revealed that even while working at White Castle, she was offered thousands to do songs and appearances, but said God told her to decline. As for the email Long's people allegedly sent her, she added, it was loaded with so many fabrications, so many lies. This joker lied even on my mother. He said that my mother wanted me to get married to a man because my choice was women. And my mom didn't want me to be with women, so she wanted me to marry him because he was a man. He also said that in our marriage that I lived in my mother's basement, which in fact, I didn't just live there. He did as well too. You came from Texas and you moved up here and you lived with me in my mother's basement until you lied to me and told me we was going to Atlanta, and we wound up in Alabama. As we drove past Atlanta and I looked up and said Atlanta right there, and he said just a little further. 2 hours later we make a stop. You remember when I said I wasn't living there, right? Oh, you don't? You got amnesia? I'm sure you do. So let me remind you what you said to me and how I was like, I'm not living here, and how I cried at your brother's place. Finally, of course, I stayed because I was married to you. She added that he lied about how long they were together when he claims in the email that they had only been with each other for 2 months. Really? I don't remember that because you left when you said to me, I left my son, I left everything. I never told you to leave your son. Never. She said they lived with each other in New Jersey. They moved to Alabama before relocating to Texas. That sounds like more than 2 months. We got married in 2013 until 2016, right before my mother passed away when the divorce happened. She went on to give details about their actual split. She said someone asked her to comment on the divorce, but she didn't because she wanted to cover him. She said she's okay with speaking up now. You know who you are, Jamie? You know that you are nasty. You know that you are nasty, not just to me, but you've been nasty to your mother, to your sister, to your brother, to your family. I've seen it. They've seen it, but they don't speak it. Pam added that she was never perfect, but did the best she could. She said things got ugly when she called him out on things she didn't agree with. She also revealed that he's physically abused her when he allegedly threw her across the bed. She even said they met after he tracked her down on Twitter. It sounds like the story as far as your new wife, because it said that he tracked Centoya down as well, and he felt deep in his soul and everything that he was moved to do that by the Lord and all of this. She said she hung on to him because she was broken herself and didn't want to lose what she thought was a good catch. How about the man that forces himself on women? Do you remember that night? You want to go there, but I don't think you want to talk about you. Hook me up to any machine. She also shut down his accusation that she's gay despite sleeping with women before. Now that's when I got, questions. Because here's the thing. I don't really have questions because I can really care less how you identify. Here's my thing though. I think that in this day and age, people have been given the option to just be, anything and everything that they decide to identify as. And that's great. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, am I sexually fluid or am I lying to myself? Pam first blasted Jamie after headlines revealed he's married to Brown Long. She told in the neighborhood talk, this man is diabolical and he is such a manipulator. The way this man pursued this woman is the way he did me. He came and found me using the same card. He was a Christian artist. May the Lord God protect her and her money. It's about who she is in the public eye and what she has. By her having this face in the media, it helps him to have a chance to be around what he deems as the elites. Mr. Long may be able to hide behind his handsome looks of being a good man, but God knows the heart and exposure is coming. Jamie and Brown Long have since responded. Jamie said, I think it was very selfish. I don't know if she's trying to reinvent her career. I don't know what she's trying to do. I think it was very selfish of her to do that. We're serious about what we're doing. We're serious about the message. I've been divorced from Pam almost 4 or 5 years, man. I didn't even see her that much when we were married. Okay, so then Brown chimed in and said she believes they divorced in 2014, 3 years before she met Jamie. She explained how Pamela warned her about Jamie on social media. I just feel like it was selfish of her to come out and do something like that because you discredit what my wife is trying to do, trying to attract your name to something like this. As for Pamela's claims that he was attracted to Brown for attention and publicity, Jamie said, what do I have for sale? I no longer participate in the music industry. That's not my thing. I gave that up. I tend to my home. I tend to my wife. I tend to my business. We are very financially stable. I've heard something about because my wife has a book deal with or without a book deal, my wife is going to be straight because we straight. Brown said, and I've been straight. I don't know why people think the minute your name is all over the place, all of a sudden you're rich. He's been taking care of me. Everybody just assumes they know things, and they don't. She also denied Pamela's claims that he's using her because when they first met and got married, Brown was still in jail, and they had no idea that Brown would actually be released. Jamie also said in the interview, I was married before and I married the wrong woman. I had the right intentions, but I married the wrong woman, and I wasn't doing that anymore. Sometimes the counterfeit comes before the real thing, and we fall for the counterfeit sometimes. This time I know I got it right. This is my friend. And that was from when they went on a Breakfast Club. Now that I've read y'all all of this back and forth, this is what I'm going to say. I feel like there may be some truth to the manipulation because I do find it convenient that you felt moved to reach out to this woman. But when they say that they started talking before they knew she can get out, I just kind of felt like, but people were still making an attempt to get you out. And even though y'all relationship didn't come out until now, he could have still very much, been trying to get with you for the wrong reasons. So I feel like, what they said doesn't really defend that. But at the same time, if Centoya Brown feels like she knows who she's dealing with, I feel like that's great. But I watch way too much Love After Lockup to fully believe that y'all have found the perfect relationship within each other, okay? Now, with that being said, Pam, sis, you said you've been delivered. And as soon as somebody says something like that, I just stop, as it pertains to homosexuality. I'm sorry. But you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if I believe that you can be delivered from homosexuality. I know some people may believe that. I don't know if I do. I feel like whatever your sexual urges are, those are your sexual urges. Okay? And Pam said that she quite enjoyed female sex. So I want to know how that doesn't, make you at least a part of the spectrum of the rainbow. Just saying. I feel like that in some points, kitty clicking, whether it is a phase or not, put you smack dab on bisexual. I'm sorry. And just because, and I mean, look, you don't have to deal with that, but I just kind of feel like, How do you have like continuous relations with women over the years and then get married to a man and everything and then decide to adopt a different identity because you've now moved on to want to be in a church and want to be a man? I mean, want to be with a man. My bad. Slip of the tongue. Okay? But yeah, I don't know about all of that. Like, I mean, if that's her truth, that is perfectly fine with me. Like I said, it does not affect me. But I just want to say there's a fine line between being sexually fluid and lying to yourself. And when people try to like put God on top of their homosexuality, it makes me feel like something being repressed, not something that's actually been healed. Because I don't know if it's something that can be healed. And that's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? People who feel like, oh, God could deliver me from anything. Yeah, okay. Great for you. Great for you. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now let's go ahead and move on. Y'all, let's talk about Tank. So Tank has an album that just came out. And I just saw Ashley Shaw Miller, tweet that the album is actually really good with the exception of some type of skit or collab with Amari Hardwick that is kind of cringeworthy. I didn't listen to it, but from what she said, I assume that is the feel that it gave. And knowing Amari Hardwick and his artsy self, how that can somehow, come across. When he's not playing the hood, I swear to God, oh Lord, it's so confusing sometimes how you feel about it. You'd be like, oh, I like you, but I hate you, but then I like you, but then it's like, hold up, you don't know. You don't know. I love Amari Hardwick, and I always will. I don't even care how weird he can be sometimes. I love him, okay? Anyway, but Tank has an album to sell. And Tank is very good at getting everybody to listen to what he has to say by saying outrageous things. There have been rumors in the years, okay, about him and Jamie Foxx, okay? So, him and Jamie Foxx together. Now, I don't know if that's true, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people say a lot of things. People say the same thing about Eddie Murphy and Johnny Gill. Who knows, okay? Who knows, all right? It's none of business. The point is, when you have that in the back of your capsule, and then he gets on lip service with Angela Yee. We'll talk about that in a minute. And the topic of men lying comes up. And I don't know how we got to giving fellatio to a man twice. I don't know how we got to that point. But Tank seems to believe that if a man gives fellatio to another man twice, that does not make him gay. And I feel like, okay, but does it make him straight? Yeah, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. Like, I personally feel like Tank is trying to sell albums. And I feel like whatever people decide to do in the privacy of their bedrooms or wherever they decide to do whatever they want to do, that is their business. So I don't care. And I honestly am over all of this. Like, I'm over all of the semantics. I'm over the arguing. I'm over, like, just the new ways of saying the same shit and then people getting upset. Like, I'm over all of it. And I'm just looking at Tank like, that was a nice try, sir. But you're not about to gaslight me. If you think that you could get down on your knees and take a man's girth and put it in your mouth and then leave and then come back and then get down on your knees again and then do it again. If you think that means you didn't like it or you weren't sure if you liked it the first time, I guess. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. I just know that me being a bisexual woman, I feel like when I made the firm decision to give fellatio to a woman, I felt like that was a firm decision. I felt like for the rest of my life, I'm going to be attracted to women because now I've decided to, as once again, as Roxanne would say, put my face in a place. Okay? So I'm just talking from personal experience. Everybody's experiences are different. But mine is that if I have decided to put my face in your place, that's a firm decision. And that is not a decision that I'm confused about by the time we get to round 2. But that's just me. And I'm a very matter-of-fact person. So yeah, Tank could be very well right. But I still think that Tank just wants to sell that album. All right, y'all. Let's talk about Nene Leakes. Y'all know Real Housewives of Atlanta just filmed the finale episode. And apparently there was an altercation between she and Kenya where she was heard trying to hawk spit at Kenya. Let's read what Luv B. Scott is saying. Kenya Moore and NeNe Leakes are back at odds. Sources who overheard the two fighting during the finale, which was taped in Atlanta last week, exclusively tell LoveBScott.com that Kenya and NeNe got into a major fight while they were in Athens, Greece, and not Athens, Georgia. Yes, God. Over NeNe's relationship with Mark Daly. Now, what relationship could she possibly have with this man that she has only known for what, a few months? Make me understand. You're not friends with Kenya. Why do you have a relationship with her husband? Whether that's about to be her ex-husband or whether it was all a game or not, they got married and had a baby together. They said they couldn't find a marriage license, but that doesn't mean anything. But my point still remains. What relationship are you supposed to have with this man at this point? Out of my facial. Out of it. Here's what allegedly went down. Kenya confronted NeNe after hearing that she'd been talking to Mark behind her back. Things escalated quickly, with NeNe telling Kenya that Mark said he doesn't even like her. NeNe continued to throw out different things she and Greg were allegedly told by Mark as their fight got more intense. That's when, according to our sources, NeNe began to make a hawking sound as if she was preparing to spit in Kenya's direction. We can't say for sure if spit actually flew, but our sources say that at least one cast member heard NeNe say she was close to spitting on Kenya during their Athens argument at the finale taping. To be crystal clear, the finale itself was taped in Atlanta, but during the finale, the ladies had an argument about this argument, which happened in Athens. As previously reported, NeNe and Kenya got into a major altercation and nearly got physical with each other earlier this season during the cast trip to Toronto. Despite making up, things clearly took a turn for the worse. Real Housewives premieres November 3rd. So yeah, you know we're gonna be doing that. We always do that. That's what we do. Okay. Here's what I have to say about that, because we only know what they're telling us. Until we watch it, you won't really get the full scope of what has taken place. But I can just about guess that NeNe has always taken an adversarial approach with Kenya, even when Kenya was trying to be friends with her. There's always been a dislike for Kenya that NeNe has had, and I feel like she feels like Kenya will come and become the villain and kind of take power away from her because she's the queen bee, and Kenya kind of demands that first seat next to Andy as well. You know what I'm saying? When she's in the show, she's taking over in a way. That is Kenya's MO. So I feel like NeNe is bothered by that. I think NeNe is also bothered that regardless to how, minuscule you might want to call Kenya Moore's acting career, it was larger than NeNe's. So I feel like there's still been some type of like animosity and hate towards Kenya. I don't always like or agree with Kenya's mama issues having ass. But I feel like it is inappropriate for you to have any type of relationship with one of the girls on the show's men to which you feel comfortable coming back and throwing what you supposedly heard in their face about their man. I think that's overstepping a boundary right there, for me anyway. Like, I recognize we are on a reality show, but if somebody had done that to NeNe, she would be hot, okay? But Greg Leakes don't play like that. So I doubt that would really have happened, or she would probably divorce him if it had happened. But I'm just saying, I think Greg has learned his lesson, and he knows that, she's like this close to selling him out for a newer model. So he better just get his act together. And so he wouldn't do that under these, current circumstances. But I feel like if what she has done to Kenya was done to her, she would be irate. And I just don't feel like that's cool. I feel like whatever y'all beef is, for you to take it there, I think that's putting it on another level. And that's just like mad, catty, disrespectful, and petty for a woman of your age. But we'll be watching, and I can't wait to see what actually transpires. And I hope that y'all giving us more than 4 or 5 good episodes of drama, with the rest of the 15 being some damn filler episodes. But we anticipating. We on y'all heels, Real Housewives of Atlanta. We ready. Y'all, what's going on with Lori Harvey? Lori Harvey reportedly attempted a hit and run in Beverly Hills on Sunday. According to reports, she didn't stick around and cops caught up with her a short distance away. Via TMZ. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ Lori was cited Sunday night for misdemeanor hit and run, delaying a police investigation in Beverly Hills. Our sources say witnesses told responding officers they saw Lori texting and driving when she slammed into a Prius and tipped over her Mercedes G-Wagon on its side. Doesn't sound like anyone was injured. We're told cops quickly showed up on the scene and found Lori a short distance away, walking down the street. Our sources say she even FaceTimed her dad, Steve, at one point while dealing with officers. We're told Lori was not taken into custody. She got a ticket for the offenses and was free to go. Cops say alcohol was not a factor. We bet she did FaceTime her dad. That's probably why police gave her a ticket and let her go. Child. I'm about getting sick and tired of seeing Lori Harvey, in all honesty, because I feel like Lori Harvey is everywhere. And I forgot somebody else posted a story about her and was like, everybody ex Lori Harvey is in trouble for trying to tip over her damn G-Wagon and run off from a scene. That was funny. They put somebody else's video and said it was Lori Harvey trying to get away. She was trying to tip her car back over. That shit was so funny. Anyway. Obviously, you just got to slap on the wrist. But you know, if you continue down this path, then you're going to, like, you know, hurt somebody. Like, everybody text and drive. But here's the thing. If you can't text and drive, why your rich ass can't get a driver? Uber, Lyft. Like, I don't understand why somebody would drive themselves around so they can text and drive and get into car accidents at night, when they could just call somebody to drive them around because they have WAP like that. Make me understand. I just feel like that's just so immature and stupid to even get into a situation like that. For what? And why would you leave the scene? They really could have went harder on you, because that's really what you're not supposed to do, is leave the scene once you didn't hit somebody. And I'm glad nobody was hurt. But that was this time. And I almost feel like them letting her go with that slap on the wrist will ensure that she feels like she can get away with doing stuff like that and she could hurt somebody. Like, that's what I think about when y'all allow celebrities to get away with shit that y'all will otherwise be handcuffing somebody and taking them to jail for. It probably wasn't only the fact that Steve Harvey is her step-po. It was probably also that bitch is attractive. Okay? Them cops rolled up on that beautiful Tweety Bird looking ass bitch and probably was like, who are you? Okay. All right. Well, we're going to give you a ticket and you have a good night, ma'am. Are you okay? Do you need to see an ambulance? No, you're all right. Even though you tried to flee the scene, do you need a ride home? Are you going to be okay? All right, then. You go on your way. You have a nice night. And you tell Mr. Harvey we said it was nice talking to him. All right. Good night. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Oh, bruh. To be a celebrity's kid, huh? All right, y'all. I ain't got no notes for this. This is straight off the top of my head. This Gucci Mane, Angela Yee situation. Angela Yee and Gucci Mane are beefed out. And I'm so glad Lovely T decided to do a video about it. Thank you, Lovely T. Because I needed to hear, like, the comprehensive. Because I felt like I understood everything was going on. But for some reason, I was like, let me see what Lovely T got to say about this before I talk about it. That's my girl, okay? And most of the time, like, I agree with everything she said. So I was like, let me see what my girl's talking about first. And we were on exactly the same page. So I was like, yes, okay. So Angela Yee, a long time ago, was doing another show that was similar to Lip Service, being that it was sexual in its content. Gucci Mane, prior to going to jail, getting off lean, losing weight, and marrying Keisha Kior and becoming the fine specimen with beautiful teeth he is today, okay, was on this show having a conversation with Angela Yee. And he said that he lost his wallet or something like that. And she was like, oh, you know, he said he lost his wallet last night. Like, are you sure that nobody, like, got it out your pocket? And he was like, no, ain't nobody getting it out my pocket. And she was like, well, I just took something just now, and you ain't even feel it. And he was like, well, you can take whatever you want. You can take whatever you want. Can you handle it is the question. And then she says, oh, well, you know what they say about Asian girls. You know what they say about small girls, especially Asian ones. And he said what they cat fat. And she was like, it's deep. It's deep. Like that. So you was basically telling this man that your snatch was deep. And I'm trying to understand, why do I want a deep snatch? Like, I'm just, I don't need a deeper than normal snatch. Like, no thank you. You can keep that. I'm straight with the regular regulated, 7 inches, you know what I'm saying, inside that we go in. Like, it, differs a little bit from woman to woman. But I'm straight with where I'm at with this. I don't need to be any deeper. But I feel like I don't care. I see a lot of y'all saying it's a show about sex. But as a person who's done this type of thing before, there's a way to talk about the sex that you've had personally and to relate in conversation without having a flirtatious conversation in which you are explaining the deep level and juice factor of your poom. Okay? Let's be very clear. She was flirting with him, and I don't care what anybody says. Okay? I also feel like sometimes pretty chicks love ugly niggas, okay? And Gucci was an ugly nigga back then, okay? I swear, them teeth and that weight he lost really, really beautified him. And Keisha K.R., of course, all right? Here's my thing. When Gucci came on the second time around, it was all healthy and said that Angela Yee was on his dick. And she got all upset and said, what? Never. I was never on your dick. What? And then he was like, what you talking about? You was texting me asking to come to my hotel, what hotel I was at. And she was like, that never happened. That never happened. And then proceeded from then on to then blackball him from the Breakfast Club. So he says, okay, he says he's been blocked from coming to the Breakfast Club, and he has an album that he's trying to promote. So now he feels like y'all are messing with the money. On top of that, they did brought up an old interview clip from an interview they did with Yo Gotti, where Yo Gotti talked about messing around with Keisha K.R. at the same time that she was messing with Gucci before they got married. And I'm sure this was probably when he was in jail that she was probably messing with Young G. With Yo Gotti. I'm not sure. But, I guess, I don't really care about whatever that was. But he was just, I understood what Yo Gotti was saying. And what he was saying was, I didn't know nothing about what was going on with her and Gucci. She the one that told me about that. But yeah, I was like, I didn't know you was all in love with her. You know what this is. Basically saying, we out here passing these broads around and you ended up falling in love with one. That's what Yo Gotti was saying. Okay? So now you bring up the fact that y'all brought up that, and let's talk about the tweet. When he was going off online initially a couple of weeks back about how Angela had him banned from the Breakfast Club, she said, oh, he must be back on them drugs that he was on. Something along those lines. She tweeted that, and he was like, whoa. And then it felt like she was taking it far, right? So then he does this interview with Charlamagne on Charlamagne's new YouTube page, which is just him exclusively during interviews. I gotta go and watch the one that he did with the cast of Girlfriends, because I didn't see the whole thing. I only saw clips and I didn't know where it was because I didn't realize Charlamagne had a YouTube page at first. But this whole interview that Gucci did was like an hour, and some change long. And the main thing that Lovely T was talking about in her video was people taking this one little thing from that interview and focusing on that instead of picking up a lot of the other really great things that Gucci was saying about how he had apologized to previous women for lying on them. And saying he had slept with this one, he had slept with that one. He had to apologize to Nicki Minaj and Fantasia. And he had done it in private, but he wanted to do it in public. He talked about how he feels like it's important to be faithful and loyal to his wife. He didn't get married to fail. He didn't get married to have a failed marriage. So he was like dropping a lot of jewels in his conversation. But this is the main thing we talking about. And I feel like this is not the first time people have said that they've been banned from the Breakfast Club, and then the Breakfast Club then said they haven't banned anybody. So if y'all haven't banned anybody, why couldn't Gucci come up to the Breakfast Club and have this conversation with the three of y'all? As Birdman would say, instead of having to go and have this separately with Charlamagne. I feel like there had to have been some conversation prior to this interview and why Charlamagne decided to do it separately. I feel like Envy and Angela Yee both knew about that interview before everybody else, probably knew before it was even taped. So it's not like he was doing something behind their backs. I feel like he was trying to be very respectful and responsible and professional with the way he handled that interview. I don't feel like he was trying to mess over Envy or Yee. I feel like he was expressing their concerns on their behalf, but trying to stay impartial because he is doing a honest, up close interview with Gucci. So you don't want to ostracize Gucci or make him feel like you picking sides, okay? Because you're doing the interview. And if you weren't going to handle it the way Charlamagne handled it, then don't do the interview. So I was glad with the way he handled it. And then we find out that Yee unfollowed Charlamagne on social media because she feels like, I guess he was siding. She didn't really say, but she just unfollowed him. Then she ignored him at the Breakfast Club the next day when he showed up to work late. Envy didn't ignore him, but Envy did make an Instagram post responding to Gucci, because Gucci was like, I'm looking for that punk ass nigga. Like, I'm looking for him. Like, we can have a conversation face to face. Because Charlamagne was like, man, I need to get y'all on the phone so y'all can talk it out. And he was like, no, we don't need to get on the phone. We need to have a face to face conversation. Just like he wanted to talk to DeMero and all of them. I forget them boys' names. My bad. Okay. But he wanted to talk to them boys about him feeling that like they disrespected his wife. Remember, he was all in his emotions and feelings about that, because he didn't want nobody to ever bring up Erica Mena ever again in life. That was a mistake you made, and you got the audacity to call it disrespecting your wife when somebody brings it up. No, my nigga, it was disrespect that you did it in the first place. Now it's somebody saying something to you. Okay, it may hurt her, but this is what you did. Okay. Either way, that's not even the point. The point is, I find Angela Yee and Envy and Charlamagne all annoying at different times, but I watch The Breakfast Club specifically for Charlamagne. So for me, if this is the end of The Breakfast Club all over a Gucci Mane interview, then I'm straight with that. I guess I'll just be checking out whatever Charlamagne is talking about on his YouTube page. Like, at the end of the day, because I feel like, Angela, you bullshitting. You did not want people to view you on The Breakfast Club like you was out here chasing rappers' meat. But you might have actually been out here sneaky, trying to snatch, Gucci's meat. Like, you could have really been out here doing that. So I just kind of feel like I believe what he was saying. I'm sorry, but I believe Gucci. I watched that video. You was flirting with him. And it would not be past the scope for you to have texted him after the fact to find out what hotel room he was in, and this and that and that and this. So, and then the way she handled it after, I do believe that you probably stopped him from coming up there to the Breakfast Club. It's not called the ban, but you make it a little difficult. You make it hard. And sooner or later, the artists and their people don't even want to deal with it, and they just go across the street to do whatever. But the fact that Charlamagne sat down and had the conversation at a separate location, to me, regardless to what Charlamagne is saying, proves to me that y'all didn't want him at the Breakfast Club because y'all didn't want to have that confrontation with him again in that setting, because now y'all hot. Okay? Especially you hot. You hot. And I kind of feel like, girl, you was flirting with him. You could have just said, oh, I don't even remember that. Oh, my bad. But you married now. So all respect to Keisha Kayor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have worked that in a way that it didn't become this mess. And I feel like she's been doing this long enough that, first of all, that first conversation with Gucci could have been done better, so that if you weren't trying to throw him no action, it didn't seem that way, because that's exactly how it seemed to me and a lot of other people, okay? Then, when it came around to this time and he was confronting you with a sober mind saying, I remember you texting me, for you to then after that do that court shit on the Breakfast Club with just you and Envy and try to say that, oh, he high all the time, he didn't lie on other people, Melissa Ford wasn't there, it wasn't lip service. Like, you was talking about all of these little minor fucking details that don't even matter to the story. Did you text him? You didn't answer that question. So I feel like Angela is going about this in a way that is already showing what's going on to me, which is that you were flirting, you were trying to get with him, he probably rebuffed you, you felt played, and now you don't want nobody to know that you tried to smash Fat Gooch. Okay, that's what this feels like to me, okay? Now, Gooch, I do feel like you calling her a lying-ass bitch or whatever you was calling her, but just calling her out her name and being so disrespectful in that way, I do feel like that was overboard. And I don't ever like when men address women in that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I felt like that was a little bit unnecessary, but I also feel like she made him feel some type of way. And so since he was feeling some type of way, it came out however it came out. And he's still I still like Gucci. Like, I found that disrespectful, but I feel like she was trying to play him. And I still like Gucci, All right, I'm just saying, Gucci man the flair. Woo-wop. Guaptober. Like, That's just how I feel about it. And Angela is a sneaky person. You could tell. Like, she's a sneaky person. So I believe a lot of the stuff that she probably does is behind the scenes. And because she has good relationships with most people, they don't put her out there like that. But I remember when she got into it with k.michelle, and k.michelle ain't been back ever since. And k.michelle was beefed out with her because she felt like, as a woman, you shouldn't have let no men talk about my snatch like that. And now you all in your feelings and mad at Charlemagne because I guess you feel like he shouldn't have let Gucci say whatever Gucci wanted to say, but there ain't no controlling no Gucci, man. Get out of here with that. So that's how I feel about that situation. That's all I got for y'all today. I hope y'all enjoy. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I appreciate all my bonbons and all the support. I love y'all. I'm just so appreciative of everyone who shares my videos. I'm halfway to 70,000, and that happened very quickly. So I'm just appreciative. I'm overjoyed. I'm really pushing for 100. I can't wait to get to 100. I hope I get like the little YouTube plaque when I finally get there, and they'll invite me to YouTube Black and shit like that once I get past 100,000 subscribers. I hope, okay? But either way, just the opportunity to entertain more people on this platform is a blessing to me, and I am so proud of what I have been able to create here, and for all of y'all to support me the way y'all do. I love y'all so much for that, and I don't even think words can express it. So thank you. And yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.